And just to prove how professional we are, we've cast off, and now I'm going to go put the center line on. At least we'll be filming if I fall in.
Yeah.
Should have gone on the roof. Don't hit the bridge. I don't want to fall in.
You're joining us today for another exciting trip to the water point. It's our special treat for the week.
Yes, you may have a question in your mind, which might be, why do they always go to the water point? Are they taking the mick? Are they just out for a little cruise and a little pooter, which actually I genuinely believe would be fine if we were, but actually we do need water.
Our water tank is approximately 360 litres in capacity, and if we're kind of careful we can get that to last us a little bit over a week and a half. If we're less careful it runs out fairly quickly, so we do need to fill up with water once a week.
I don't think it's just about being careful either. Sometimes you want to deep condition your hair and that takes extra water, and sometimes we only wash up once a day, sometimes you need to wash up more than once a day, so I think it's also just around about 360 litres of water does not get you very far if you calculate how much water you use for a shower and all the other things as well.
Yeah, we carry an extra 50 litres of water, so we have a 10 litre container under the sink which we save for drinking emergencies and laundry, and then we have another 40 litres that we keep in our bow locker, and we use that to top up our main tank, so it gives us kind of an extra shower each.
So today we are heading to a different water point than last time, so that's why we're not reversing. We're going to show you the winding hole that we're between, and we also really want to show you some of the beautiful things along the canal. So grab your cup of tea, we've made cups of tea, and enjoy a little cruise with us.
What I consider to be a small water tank, because let's be honest, 360 litres might sound like a lot in numbers, but in practical water usage it's not, and we don't feel like we use a lot of water on a day-to-day basis. We have several water conservation techniques for people that either live on narrowboats or are thinking about living on narrowboats, or even people that live in houses that want to use a little bit less water.
Yes, some of these tips you might already know if you're Australian.
Yeah.
Shower in a bucket.
That's not a tip. If you've got any tips that you want to share, now's a good time to put them in the comments.
Shower in a bucket.
But you could wait until you've heard ours first.
So tip number 1.
Only wash up once a day.
Yes, you have to kind of let go of a little bit of house pride, which is really hard, but we only wash up once a day.
The other thing that we do is we use a washing up bowl that sits inside of our sink. This holds less water than the sink does, and we also don't fill it right up to the top. We'll boil a kettle so that the water is piping hot to clean our dishes effectively, and if we need a little extra then we do, but we try to use as little as possible.
Yeah. And also our water container at the moment has a hole in it, so we can only fill it up halfway, but then the other day I saw another hole, which is right down the bottom.
Oh no, that's why it drains out.
Yeah. So
we are going to get a new washing up tub, but we have to wait till lockdown's finished so we can get to the shop.
Yeah, because we like to get a collapsible one as well so we can put it away.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is we use a blue bucket, doesn't have to be blue, and when we have a shower, while we're waiting for the water to get hot, we empty that water into the blue bucket.
So you know when the shower starts and the cold water comes out first, as the hot water has to travel through the pipes to get to the shower head.
Yeah, don't let that just go down the drain.
Yeah, and then we use that for laundry.
Yeah, once the blue bucket is full, we know we can do a load of washing.
Yeah.
And the other day, we were at my in-law, well, before lockdown, we were with my in-laws, and my sister-in-law got a drink of cold water from the tap.
Just left the tap running.
She just left it running.
She left the room with it running.
So we never leave taps running.
And that's the same as when we're in the shower, because we do turn off the running water in between shower stages.
Yes.
Because otherwise it is just going down the drain.
Yeah.
And we would get through a hell of a lot more water in a week if we didn't turn off the taps.
You cannot, while you have your conditioner in your hair and say you're waiting 3 minutes, you cannot leave the water running. Also, while you're shampooing your hair and the water's just running, you've got to turn the water off.
It feels lovely, and we do have showers like that as a treat every now and then.
If we're on somewhere that has water.
But yeah. We get asked a lot of questions about how we maintain our water tank. It's a stainless steel fitted tank, so the maintenance that we do is minimal. When we run out of water, or we're close to running out of water, when we next go to fill up, we do make the point of flushing through a little bit of water in case there is any sediment at the bottom of the tank. So we will put the hose in and turn a tap on inside so it just runs straight through. For other events like today, we will put in these purification tablets just as an added precaution for the water quality. We don't put them in all the time, but we do put them in semi-regularly. There are other products available, and it's a good idea to flush your tank at least once a season. Integral water tanks are a lot bigger than our stainless steel tank, but they do involve a lot more maintenance. Alan from Narrowboat Venture did a video series on cleaning his integral water tank that's really must-have viewing if you have an integral water tank in your narrowboat. So we'll put a link in the description below so that you can check them out after you've finished watching this, of course.
to wind here. It's a really weird winding spot. It doesn't actually look like you can wind, but we know it's on the map, and plus we've done it 3 other times. But if you were just cruising along, I don't think you'd 100% know. In my winding video, and if you haven't seen that, click the link. I had a pound to wind in. Kathy's winding in the middle of a canal. So what she's done is she's nosed into the bank. The bank is kind of made in a winding hole so that you can actually nose into it. Our nose is a little bit heavier at the moment because we have water, but she's nosed into the bank and she's turning so that the nose, the bow of the boat, is actually becoming a bit of a pivot point, an anchor point, so that she can swing the stern around. There's really not a lot of point in reversing and fussing with it, unless it's really windy and then you have to work harder. It'll just slowly turn around. We have winded here before, and you do actually get caught in a little bit of wind, and we've got wind pushing the boat when it's at its biggest, when the rectangle is kind of acting like a sail.
Was to swing the back around and so it's kind of level with that bridge behind me, but I wasn't getting enough of a pivot on the with the bow on the bank, so I'm now in reverse and I'm backing back, but I'm pretty much where I wanted to be anyway, so it's worked out fine. In spaces like this, and even the pound that Anna Marie winded in last week, it looks like there's a lot of space, but you don't actually know what the situation is under the water. A lot of the canal is diagonal at the banks, so the deepest part is obviously the centre of the canal. So in some winding holes they look massive, or even some non-winding holes they look like you could get round, but there's a lot of silt and a lot of stuff on the base of the canal, or the sides are too diagonal, so you couldn't actually, you don't have as much space as you think. This one obviously is fine at the moment. The other reason that you always go in bow first is because the narrowboat naturally sits in the water on an incline, so the bow is always higher than the stern, and if the water is shallower at the bank, you don't want to go in with your stern first, because aside from it being lower, that's where your propeller and your steering is, so you need to have that accessible in the deepest part of the water to be able to maneuver smoothly.
Those guys are like, we own this place now, nobody's been here for 5 weeks. I'm surprised they don't have a heap of goslings with them, because there's just no one here. We talked to the people who permanently moor near the water point, and they said it's been incredibly quiet on the canal, really busy on the towpath, so that's not surprising. We are all moored up now, probably for another week. We've got a water point and we're heading towards it the other way at the lock. So we're here now until we use this water.
Yep, so that's probably going to last us another week. We have had lots of comments about why don't we increase our water capacity, which is something that's on our mind constantly. Whilst we're quite happy normally to be moving every few days to keep topped up with water, there have been the odd occasion in the past year that we've been on this boat where we have run into shortages, or a backlog of laundry or whatever that may be. There are some boats where people do actually take the water from the canal or rainwater and filter that and use that in their internal systems. We know of some people. That's not something that we're immediately going to be investigating.
Kat doesn't like the idea of using our water. We do like the idea of catching rainwater though.
Yeah, the rainwater one is slightly more interesting.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of nasty stuff, chemicals and that in the rainwater that you have to be mindful of, but it's not the same as stagnant canal water.
Ugh. Also, there's the thing that you were saying about shower water.
Yeah, there's another device that somebody sent me a link through to probably about a year ago that was only in the early stages of development, where there's a company that have come up with this idea where you circulate your shower water. So the initial bit of your shower is clean fresh water from your tank, and then you have a loop that filters the water to remove all the soap, and then you reuse it, so you can have a longer shower because you're just using the same water. And that was something that I was quite interested in looking into further, but they were only in the initial stages of telling you how to build your own system, and we just didn't have time back then.
We do.
Amazingly, we have an abundance of time now.
We do. We've at the front of the boat where the bow is, we have a big cavern where the locker is.
The bow locker.
Yeah, the bow locker. And we are going to put a bladder in there, at least, even if it's just a couple of 100 litres, then we can siphon that out if we get an electric siphon. And that will kind of keep us going either for 2 weeks or 1 week with extra long showers. Washing up twice a day, living the dream. It's the small stuff.
The other option is, of course, to utilise the under bed space, because we do have the large bed across the bow area. We definitely have space to put in another tank under there that we could hook up to our existing water system.
Yeah, we could.
There is a downside that we wanted to tell you about of having a stainless steel water tank underneath your bed, which is the scenario that we have. When we first bought the boat, there was no insulation around the tank, and whilst that was fine in summer, whether there's one of you or two of you on a mattress, you do emit a lot of heat. You don't really think about it because you don't have to in a house.
We have a hot mattress.
So the heat from the body goes through the mattress, and then whatever surface is between the water tank, condensation is going to form. We have had to resolve that, and it has resulted in us purchasing a new mattress. So if you are looking at buying a new narrowboat that you're going to live on and it has a similar scenario, just make sure that your tank is insulated.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's air ventilation underneath your mattress.
Yeah.
It's our top tip.
Yes, if you are interested in seeing how we fix that problem, leave us a comment below. We can definitely show you guys that. I wanted to dedicate today's episode to several pets. We've had so many replies. I absolutely love it. And so I'm still working through all the pets of Twitter, and I still have pets of Facebook and Instagram to go. So if you do want to dedicate an episode to your pet and your pet's been watching, then do message me on one of those social media platforms. As always, guys, we hope you are safe. We thoroughly enjoy spending time with you guys in lockdown, and we hope that this has been a lovely little break, and maybe your cup of tea is finished, so you need to go and fill up your cup of tea, grab a cookie, and rewatch it.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Bye. Oh, before you go though, the little baby ducklings are coming along.
Oh, cool.
So I wanted to show you how big the baby ducklings have gotten, and also how super cute they are. So we're going to end on really cute baby ducklings.